Episode 7 of Ship of the Week. Today, we'll be covering one of the most famous ships of all time, the legendary Boston clipper, Flying Cloud. In order to discuss how ships like Flying Cloud came to exist, however, we must start in the U.S. military district of California, where, in January of 1848, a mill owner named James W. Marshall happened to discover gold at Coloma, California. The resulting frenzy became the California Gold Rush. Cities like San Francisco exploded in population almost overnight, with the crews of arriving cargo ships in the bay simply abandoning them there to seek their fortunes in the hills. People came from across the continent and around the world to stake their claim, and the slim probability that anyone would actually strike it rich deterred few from trying. In the first half of the 19th century, the engineering marvel of the Panama Canal was still decades away, and ships sailing from the trade ports at New York, Boston, Baltimore, and Philadelphia were forced to sail all the way around Cape Horn and back up in order to get to California. The trip could, in the standard ships of the day, take the better part of a year to accomplish in favorable weather. The demand for travel and shipments to the boomtowns along the Pacific coast was great enough to warrant the continued innovation of a cutting-edge type of ship that developed in the American Northeast in the early decades of the Republic, with sleek hulls and vast spreads of canvas intended to get the vessels to virtually fly across the water. They cut travel time around South America to roughly 3 months, and they were the American clippers. Flying Cloud was laid down at Boston and launched in 1851, entering service for the shipping conglomerate Grinnell, Minturn and Company. 225 feet in length overall and displacing roughly 1,800 tons, her maiden voyage to San Francisco was completed in just over 89 days, shattering records and making her an immediate household name. She bested her own time in 1854, and while her New York-San Francisco record is disputed with another fast clipper ship, Andrew Jackson, whichever ship one believes truly won the title held it until a modern ship built for racing, Thursday's Child, completed the passage in just under 81 days in 1989. Flying Cloud's record voyage is also notable for various members of her crew. The ship was under the command of Josiah Creasy, a veteran ship's captain, and at his side was his wife Eleanor, whose academic passion for ocean currents, wind patterns, and the stars made her Flying Cloud's navigator for much of the ship's early career. The seafaring couple, and their engineering wonder, became, albeit briefly, fabulously famous. Despite this, I've been unable to locate a photograph of Eleanor, and indeed one may not exist, at least not one publicly available. In 1853, Flying Cloud was part of a near-mythic race from New York to San Francisco against the Coleman-lined clipper Hornet. Hornet departed on April 26th. Flying Cloud sailed 2 days afterwards. 106 days and 15,000 miles later, Hornet sailed into San Francisco Bay barely 45 minutes ahead of Flying Cloud. In 1862, Flying Cloud passed into British ownership, sailing to various far-flung parts of the Commonwealth under the flag of the Black Ball Line. In June of 1874, Flying Cloud was driven ashore at Beacon Island, New Brunswick, and declared a total loss. She was burned and broken up where she lay for her iron parts. This final painting, by Jack Burling, shows her in her element, the finest of the clippers, all sails set, and bounding across the swells.